So everyone have already noticed that, or after the beginning of the seminar, I still need to mention to all of the audience, Manuel?
Excuse me,
Benny,
Professor?
And I don't know whether what the way of the operation. I'm just thinking after the beginning, I still need to mention this translation button to all the audience or not?
Sure, I will actually do it now as I see people are joining our transmission. Welcome everyone that is joining us today or tonight, depending on which side of the world you're watching us from. I would just like to mention before we start off this event that you can find the translation either to Chinese or Spanish on the bottom right corner of this platform. So make sure to select the language that is of proper use to you. And with that, Professor, I give the word to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Manuel. Okay. Let's begin. Oh, my dear friends from Chile, China, and other Latin American countries, good morning and good evening. I'm Professor Taotao Chen, the Director of Latin America Center of Tsinghua University, China. On behalf of Beneficia Universidad Católica de Chile and Tsinghua University of China, I'm pleased to welcome you to the inauguration of Tsinghua-UC Technology Meetup, which seeks to bridge frontier technology development from China and Chile. And it's also worth noticing that this year, 2021, marks the 110th anniversary for Tsinghua University. I'm so happy to celebrate it with you today. Before we kick off today's program, we warmly welcome distinguished authorities and their representatives who have kindly joined us today. The Vice President and Provost of Qinghai University, Professor Yang Bin, the Vice President for Research of the Pontificia Universidad Católica de Chile, Professor Petro Patron, the Ambassador for People's Republic of China in Chile, Mr. Niu Qingbao, the Ambassador for Republic of Chile in China, Mr. Luis Schmidt, and the Head of Technology Capabilities at Gorfo, Mr. Fernando Hencho. Thank you for joining us on this very special occasion. Now I would like to invite the Vice President and Provost of Qinghai University, Professor Yang Bin, to deliver his opening remark. Please.
Thank you very much, Professor Taotao, my dear colleague. Your Excellency Ambassador Niu Qingbao, Your Excellency Ambassador Schmidt, Professor Pedro Boschwin, and Mr. Pablo Terrazas, ladies and gentlemen and friends, good morning and good evening. It's my great pleasure to attend this technology meetup, bridging frontier tech development from China and Chile, jointly organized by Tsinghua University and Pontifical Catholic University of Chile. The friendship between our two universities spanned over 15 years. In 2006, supported by the Luxic Group, Tsinghua and UC started our student exchange program, benefiting already 400 students and faculty members. In December 2018, also with the support of Mr. Luxic, Tsinghua launched its Latin America Center in Santiago. For the past 2 years, our two universities have engaged in multiple partnerships covering different sectors. Our ties were strengthened in 2020 despite the pandemic, as we deepened cooperation in medicine and public health. Tsinghua and UC both shoulder the responsibility of promoting innovation and leading national development. I am confident that tech transfer will become another area for China, Chile, and other Latin American countries to achieve mutual learning and win-win opportunity. Tsinghua attaches great importance to research and development, with focus on solving key problems. We have already made some promising breakthroughs. At the same time, our university values the collaboration with businesses because the far-reaching ties with Chinese and international businesses enrich our research and teaching. The Office of Technology Transfer and the Xin Center were established in 2014, both dedicated to innovation and tech transfer. Since then, Tsinghua has successfully transferred over 500 research projects from academia to industry. And for Chile, UC has always stood out as a beacon of innovative development. This year, as COVID-19 continues to ravage the world, UC and Sinovac cooperated in vaccine development and achieved remarkable results. Cooperation between Chinese enterprises and UC is a perfect example of China-Chile technology partnership, and I am excited to learn that more of their successful stories will be shared on the second day of this forum. I hope that Tsinghua Latin America Center, Tsinghua Office of Tech Transfer, Xin Center, and UC Innovation Center will continue to work side by side and engage the academia and governments and the businesses of the two nations and other Latin American countries. In this way, we can build an exchange platform that bridges the government, the industry, and academia, and carve out a practical path for technology transfer. Our countries can surely benefit from this mutual exchange and learning experiences, which will further boost our shared development. Finally, I wish this event every success. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vice President. Now I would like to invite the Vice President for Research of the Pontificia Universidad Católica de Chile, Professor Berto Bertram. Please.
Thank you very much, Professor Tao Chen. Vice President and Provost of Tsinghua University, Mr. Yang Bin, His Excellency Mr. Niu Qingbao, Ambassador of the Chinese People's Republic in Chile, His Excellency Mr. Louis Schmidt, Ambassador for the Republic of Chile in China, Head of Technological Capabilities of Corfo, Mr. Fernando Henschel, authorities, speakers, researchers, academic students, special guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening or good morning, depending on which part of the world you are watching the broadcast from at this time. We are very excited to start today's program on the first day of the Tsinghua-UC Technology Meetup, a new milestone of our 15 years relationships, as has been highlighted by Mr. Yang Bin. As the name states, this is a joint effort between both of our universities in order to link the rich and dynamic innovation ecosystem within and surrounding our institutions. And I am sure that after the presentations during the next 2 days, you will agree with the enormous opportunities that stem from tech-based innovation. Universidad Católica has recognized this not only by instituting the vice presidency that I lead, but by establishing innovation as an integral part of its institutional mission. As a matter of fact, one of the most relevant pillars in our research focuses on fostering collaborative interdisciplinary work as a vehicle for innovative problem solving, especially with respect to the challenges that our country and world face. In a way, the COVID-19 pandemic has clearly evidenced this institutional goal in a very organic way, as we created interdisciplinary boards between academia, government agencies, and the private sector to bring university-born tools and solutions to the communities that need it, and various of them in conjunction with Tsinghua University. In accordance to our institutional mission to serve Chile's development, which together with education aims to transfer the benefits of academic excellence and research outputs to society to add value to people's lives. The ecosystem is built through educational programs, certainly, as well as research activities and professional guidance and advice, which is a key aspect. In this respect, I must acknowledge the excellence of our Technology Transfer Office, which has been recognized as the leading tech transfer office for the last 6 years in a row in Chile, together with the prolific work that is led by our Center of Innovation. But certainly extracurricular activities that unleash the vast potential of discovery and innovation are critical factors to build an ecosystem. In this context, our Brain Chile program, a vibrant technology-based prototypes competition, is a way in which we strive to bring science and technology-based innovation to society. This startup training and acceleration program has been steadily growing since its foundation back in 2015, and its 7th edition, which we have recently kicked off, looks to have the highest amount of female participants in it. Not only that, but Brain has been making strides abroad too, with the first version of Brain Mexico wrapping up with its first generation of tech-based startups, which happened this year. We want the next 2 days be just as transformative for the innovation ecosystem of China and Chile, with scientific collaboration in the forefront. If there is one thing that we can be sure of, is that the society we're striving for will be built collaboratively by involving as many voices as possible. Everyone that joined us today, I believe, is very much convinced on the role that technology plays in this, and how critical it is for our institutions, for our workplaces, for our governments and communities to properly harness their potential. This is a cause that we, as a publicly oriented university, promote passionately through excellence in education, as well as through knowledge generation, and as well, as we will see today, by adding value to society through technology, helping us to shape our future in accordance to the mission as well of Tsinghua University. I would like to congratulate the University of Tsinghua on their 110th anniversary and for making us part of this celebration through this event, which we are sure will be of great interest and value to both of our universities. Thank you, and please enjoy the program.
Thank you very much, Vice President Bertrand. We're also glad to have the head of technology capabilities at the Chilean Economic Development Agency today with us, Mr. Fernando Hensel. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks, and good morning or good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to congratulate both the University of Tsinghua and also the Catholic University and his Innovation Center for carrying out this initiative and sharing with us and the whole innovation ecosystem this good practices and public policies, and of course the results of this kind of applied research that together with the right technology transfers methodologies, which finally allows us to have to serve this kind of technologies to our enhancement or to the enhancement of our quality of life in Chile and China and around the world. So we are able, with this kind of culture, the transfer technology culture, we are able to put in value all the knowledge that's coming from the universities to our societies in order to have a better and future world. Undoubtedly, these types of initiatives are the ones that make possible to strengthen this kind of technology transfer culture in our countries, and this culture that starts from of course from the capacity of peoples, but must finally permeate towards all the institutions, all kind of institutions, to generate this change and to promote the economical development based not only in natural resources, but also in knowledge, and this is knowledge to be transferred to our industries and our societies. As well as we will surely see today and also tomorrow, the deployment of this kind of culture, this kind of transfer technology culture, is not something that happens spontaneously. This kind of culture is the result of long-term public policies and of long-term programs coming from universities and all the other institutions in charge to promote and to put in place this kind of technology transfer methodologies. And Corfu has been promoted this kind of culture for more than 10 years. Actually, in Corfu, we started with the formation of technology transfer capabilities. Not only in the industry, but also in places where the knowledge and the technologies are generated. So that in Chile, that means in Chile, institutions such as universities, the TTOs that we have been deployed along all the universities here in Chile, and of course also the deployment of or the development happen in our innovation center, as for example this innovation center from the university, the Catholic University. Thanks to this, today we have a network, a real network of professionals specialized in management and technology transfer, who together with several support mechanisms coming from Corfu and other institutions, of course, we are able to facilitate the journey of this kind of technology entrepreneurship here in Chile, starting several times in the university, but other times starting also in the industry, and how together the universities with this kind of more innovative industry are able to develop new technologies that are able to change the roles of our industry, and of course also to change our style of life. Today, with this kind of network and with this establishment of these capabilities around all the university and the whole ecosystem here in Chile, now we have also the opportunity to contribute from this kind of technology development or technology deployments, also from Chile to the world in challenges so important like the pandemic, for example. At the Catholic University, we have several examples how we could collaborate with knowledge and also with the technology transfer in areas for example, the immunology, also biomedical application that we will see tomorrow. But also we are able, and we can, from Chile now with this kind of capabilities, contribute also to fight one of the most highest challenge that we are facing in the world, And this challenge is the climate change. And with for example, today we are talking to develop not just a technology, but also an industry related with the generation and the exportation of green hydrogen for the world, and all the application that we can do or give from clean technologies in general to change our not just our energy matrix, but also all our industry and manufacturing capabilities here in Chile. So I'm sure that we will have a lot of examples today and tomorrow to discover areas where we could have mutual benefits to strengthen our collaboration around this kind of development and technology transfer issues, and that will allow us to improve the quality of our lives and also the whole countries. So thanks again for organizing this, for our organization of this kind of initiative, and I hope to have very excited, and I'm very excited to hear these 2 days of all this kind of experience coming from both universities.
Thank you very much, Mr. Henshaw. Now I would like to welcome the Ambassador for Republic of Chile in China, Mr. Luis Schmidt. Your Excellency, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mrs. Tao Chen. Buenos días, good morning in Chile, good evening or good afternoon in China. Mr. Yang Bing, Vice President of Tsinghua University, Mr. Pedro Buchon, Vice President of la Universidad Católica, Mr. Tao Chen, Director of Latin America Center of Tsinghua University, and my friend, Ambassador from China in Chile, Mr. Niu Qingbao, teacher, student, academics, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank the Pontifical Catholic University and Tsinghua University for their cordial invitation to participate in this seminar entitled Tsinghua Universidad Católica Technology Meetup, Bridging Frontier Tech Development from China and Chile. Technology transfers has been one of the strategies of developed countries to achieve the knowledge society. The economic growth of countries such as Finland, Canada, and United States is largely due to their success in generating public innovation policies and to the fact that they have correctly carried out the transfer of knowledge and technologies developed in universities of technology center. For his part, in the recent years, the Chinese government has implemented an ambitious plan of public policies aimed at building an innovation economy which respond to the broader objective of shifting economical growth towards a more balanced and sustainable pattern with a greater weight on high-valued add activities. China has achieved remarkable success in the field of innovation and technology in a record time, which has aroused the astonishment of the government, companies, and civil society through the world. And numerous analyses have been quick to announce that the emergence of the new world leader in innovation for the coming decade. If we want that Chile comes to approach the level of this country, it should carefully study similar models, adapting them to the national reality, ensuring that technological advances and research are combined, that they can come to consolidate the culture and innovation as a general level. To this end, the participation of the state, companies, universities, and technology centers and societies is important. In this regard, we believe that China is a center of knowledge and technology generation that can help our country to promote these transfers and exchange. For its part, our country can also contribute to technology transfer to China. A good example of this is the agriculture demonstrative farm in China. Chile's collaboration with Tianjin, China, started very early in the year 1997-1998, with establishment of 35 hectares of demonstrative farm between Chile and China in Sichuan County, where is located the beautiful Panshan Mountain. On this farm, we produce cherries, blueberries, peaches, plums, walnuts, fruits that we export to the worldwide, and Chinese people is able to appreciate techniques and agricultural technological development we use in Chile. In addition, this seminar, held jointly with Tsinghua University, is taking place in the context of the 100th year anniversary of this prestigious university. Since his establishment in 1911, original under the name Tsinghua Imperial College, the faculty greatly valued the interaction between Chinese and Western culture, the science and humanities, the ancient and the modern. Over the past over 100 years, Tsinghua University has witnessed and shared the hardship and glories of the nation. The university's motto of self-discipline and social commitment has inspired many generations of Tsinghua teachers and students to struggle for the prosperity of China. Most universities ranking place Tsinghua among the best universities in China and in the world. And famous alumni included the President Xi Jinping, who graduated with a degree of chemical engineering in 1979, or the case of the former President Hu Jintao. Tony Blair, Henry Kissinger, and Bill Clinton are among the distinguished guests who have spoken at Tsinghua, and in 2019, the President of Chile, Sebastián Piñera, shared the same honor of those leaders, and he gave a speech, and he was honored of a professor emeritus of Tsinghua University. Tsinghua has become today a world-leading comprehensive university that offers subject areas in engineering, science, economy, management, art, medicine, philosophy, law, literature, history, and education. We graduate Tsinghua University on the 100th anniversary and wish another 100 years. Thank you very much. 谢谢.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ambassador. Now, I'm also honored to invite Ambassador for People's Republic of China in Chile, Mr. Niu Qingbao. Your Excellency, welcome.
Thank you, Professor Chen Taotao. Vice President Yang Bin, Vice President Pedro Buchon, Ambassador Louis Schmidt, Ambassador Mata, Mr. Fernando Henschel of COFO, ladies and gentlemen, buenos dias, good evening. I'm honored to address this Tsinghua-UC technology meetup and take this opportunity to congratulate you all for the convening of the meetup. Chile was the first country in South America to establish diplomatic relations with the PRC. Over the past 51 years, Chile has recorded a number of firsts among all Latin American countries. The first to acknowledge China's market economy status, the first to support China's accession into the WTO, the first to sign and upgrade a bilateral free trade agreement, and the first to join the Belt and Road Initiative. China and Chile respect and support each other on political issues. We conduct win-win cooperation in two-way trade, investment, and other areas. We have regular friendly exchanges in people-to-people contacts. To summarize, China-Chile relations serve as a model to China's relations with other Latin American countries. Since the outbreak of COVID-19 early last year, China and Chile have been supporting each other. The Latin American Center of Qinghai University sponsored a series of seminars sharing Chinese COVID fighting policies and experience with Chile and other Latin American countries. UC offered a valuable partnership to Sinovac on vaccine research and stage 3 tests. These efforts have assisted Chile in her COVID fight and contribute to the building of a community of common health for mankind. Education and technology exchanges and cooperation are a critical component of the overall bilateral relations. I've pleasantly noticed that exchanges and cooperation between Chinese and Chilean institutions of higher education, such as Tsinghua and UC, have deepened the mutual understanding between our peoples, created new opportunities for our two-way trade investment, and therefore are beneficial to Chinese and Chilean people. Tsinghua and UC are respectively our top university and R&D institution. Today's seminar significantly contributes to our interaction in science and technology. I do hope this Tsinghua-UC partnership continues to be future-oriented, need-based, and bear more fruits in serving the economy and promoting our people's welfare. By the way, 2021 marks the 110th year of Tsinghua. What wonderful achievements! Happy 110th anniversary. Let me conclude by wishing this seminar a great success. 谢谢. Muchas gracias.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ambassador. Thanks all of our distinguished authorities for your warm and encouraging speeches. We're convinced that this event will serve to further nurture the relationship between China and Chile by bringing our respected innovation ecosystem closer. So this is the end of the inauguration. Thank you all. Now to kick off today's event, I'd like to invite Dr. Jiang Yi, the General Manager of Center of Qinghai University. Center was established by Qinghai University and Tel Aviv University, Israel. It focused on high technology project, platform building, promoting technology transfer, and innovator training. So Dr. Jiang Yi, now I'm handing this floor to you now, please.
All right. Thank you, Professor Chen Taotao, and all distinguished authorities for providing your insights on the importance of technology transfer, innovation, and cooperation from broader perspectives. Now, let's start off the technology meetup. Our first presenter will offer us a deep dive into technology transfer culture in China and how it has impacted the country's development over the years. Please welcome the Director of the Research Center for Technology Innovation at Tsinghua University, Professor Chen Jin. But just a reminder, Professor Chen will have about 25 minutes for the presentation and 10 minutes for Q&A. We will have a question and answer session after the presentation. So for all the audience, please use the question and answer button in the lower right corner to send your questions for our presenters. Thank you. Professor Chen, please.
Good. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. My dear best friends, colleagues in Chile and Latin America, as well as Chinese colleagues. Today, I'd like to see about innovation and technology transfer in China in the global innovation context. I'm Professor of Innovation Management at Qinghai University School of Economics Management. As a colleague by Professor Taotao Chen, I'm also the Director of the Research Center of Technology Innovation, which focuses on technology policy design and innovation management consulting for university and innovative companies. Today, I'd like to see the three issues. First, the Chinese progress on science-based innovation in global context. Second, China's university technology transfer, progress and the challenges. And thirdly, I'd like to see something about China's next step, how to accelerate cycle innovation. First, I'd like to see that the world is becoming an innovation war. So why US-China trade war? Really about not about innovation, not about trade, it's about innovation. And Jeffrey Garrett, the former dean of Wharton Business School, said the rise of Chinese innovation is receiving more and more attention from the world. Even so-called trade war between China and US, lighting up by US government since early 2018, is not just about trade, it's about who will lead global innovation in the 21st century. By the Chinese government strategy and the effect of Chinese people, including our university, research institute, and companies, China get fast growth in global innovation landscape. The Global Innovation Index 2020 shows that China ranking 14th in the world, higher than Japan and Canada, just catching France, and not only the whole ranking, but we have a high ranking in IP, intellectual property rights, as well as technology, high technology net export, and the creative outputs. According to the Innovation Input Export Performance Matrix, China's high performance innovation output will be powerful source of technology transfer. This figure shows that China has a good record in technology performance. And for publications, you can see that the science-based innovation, China creates the most science engineering publication among the world. It surpassed US, become #1 publication in science and engineering publication. Besides the publication, this is also shows the publication. Besides the publication, the technology performance is quite good. You can see that the performance by patent application among the 5 top officers, US, China, Japan, Republic of Korea, and the European patent office, you can see that now China is #1 in patent application in the world. And the data from WIPRO 2020 shows that China tops global PCT patent application for the first time in 2019, surpassed US, Japan, became #1 in the world. And also the Cook patenting in the world. China is the main player beyond the US and Europe. China is one of the third hotspot in patent player. And as the developing countries, we should get more stronger technology reliance, and the dependence of the foreign technology in China is decreasing faster. You can say that the expenditure of foreign technology acquisition decreased very fast. In contrast, in expenditure on new product development by our own effect increased very fast. This is a very good one. It shows the indigenous innovation of China get a better performance. Besides the innovation, entrepreneurship is a very good one. You can see that China is the #1 startup growth, surpassed UK, India, Australia, etc., and even US, Japan. China is the most entrepreneur nation in the world. So the calculation catch-up index developed by my research group. This is the innovation group of China, edited by me, shows that the catching up the index compared to US is increasing faster. Now China can compared to US, almost the 60% of US innovation strength. That's a good record. Why China grows so fast for catch-up innovation? Because we have a very clear national science technology policy and efficiency implementation. There are lots of scholars analysis why China grows so fast. But I like to see that this is also our national strategy, because we have a national strategy innovation driven development. That means by 2020 we will be an innovative nation or country. By 2030 we will try to become the top 10 innovation-oriented country. And by 2050 try to become the world-class science, technology, innovation powerhouse. And also becoming the major science center and the innovation heights. So beyond Italy, UK, Germany, and the US, China try to be not only technology center but also the science center in the world. Our expenditure on R&D is increasing very fast. We are now approaching about last year the data about 2.4 over total GDP is spent on R&D. Our total money of R&D is surpasses European, just lag behind the USA, the second largest R&D spender in the world. So we surpass European. This also similar data shows that China is greater expender of R&D. And globalization, China adopted the open door policy, backed by China government's global strategy. We are very active for technology transfer and trading activity, and get a lot of spillover effect by technology transfer. Entrepreneurship, I mentioned, is very excellent. It's one of the main driving force to promote technology transfer and technology development. So for technology transfer, I think is also good record. Technology transfer is very important. I just show the webinar speech at the Nature. That means the science done in university laboratory can change the world, but only the discovery can be transformed into innovation. This word shows that technology transfer is very important. So technology transfer. Why China also go so fast? Because we have national strategy. For example, in 2017, China started a new national plan to build a National Technology Transfer Center, NTTS. The vision of NTTS try to build a basic platform and a marketplace of technologies to prove the structure, function, and efficiency of technology transfer. The main goal is try to use the market-driven mechanism to promote the technology transfer. And as a result, we can use the data from 2016 and 2020. The total number of technology transfer platform in China is has a big number, over 1,000 platforms in China. The top 5 provinces owns in Beijing, Guangdong, Shanghai, Jiangsu, and the Shanxi province. And they have lots of major government, local government promote, issue the new policy to promote technology transfer and the local technology transfer service. This data, we can see that the number of technology transfer contracts and growth rate is so fast. For example, Beijing Technology Transfer Regulation, as an example, in 2019, the Beijing officially released Beijing Technology Transfer Regulation, donates a milestone in both technology transfer institutions and incentive. For example, IP rights exchange gives the IP ownership and the decision freedom of technology transfer to the original inventor. No need to get permission from the central government. That's big innovation. Secondly, provide a professional of technology transfer. Set up a new major of technology transfer manager and IP agents who can enjoy the treatment of professor level senior manager. Lastly, will be incentive. Inventing tech team share at least 70% of royalty. That's a big share. So for university, also very good record. In the data from 2018, about over 10,000 technology transfer contract, increase about 14 growth rate. The total technology transfer revenue is about 17 billion RMB, almost increased about 50%. And in average, each contract generated about 1.557 million RMB. And this figure shows that the university tech transfer in 2011, that's the major innovative university in China. The technology transfer number is increasing very fast. And for a typical example, Tsinghua University, the patent issues, patent license, and the technology transfer revenue calculated by million US dollar, and number of startups based on university patent. You can see that Tsinghua University have a better performance than Stanford University and MIT. We know that technology transfer in the world, Stanford University and MIT rank is the best, one of the best. But now Tsinghua, the figure is bigger now than Stanford and MIT. That's good record. Even though we should increase the ratio of the university transfer, but we can see that there are 4 levels to promote the technology transfer in China and in Chinese university. Firstly is a national level factor. There's a national strategy. And for example, the government try to have a legal maturity, have a national plan to build a national technology transfer system, and especially get a high share for inventors, just from 15% to 70%. That's good. That's I think compared to Stanford University, is just about 1/3 essential. Secondly, is innovation. So is a mass innovation entrepreneurship strategy started 7 years ago, and IP protection and the patent law enforcement is perfected than before. And for regional level, I mentioned that there's a provincial technology policy. Then the central government, I sent some province get about 90 or 99% royalty in Wuhan, and Beijing also gave the also freedom for patent treatment, etc. And the university level, there's an incentive system. Our university provides well calculated tenure track, and we have calculated the IP technology transfer performance, and give the ownership of our IP, and get very good income distribution policy. And also there's a university, we provided the legitimacy of academic entrepreneurship. So most university promote our professors to do more technology transfer, especially in engineering-based faculties and schools, etc. Our alumni network promote our technology transfer, especially in Tsinghua. They have lots of venture capital money to help technology transfer to other industries, etc. So for industry level, I think more and more Chinese faculty member and the students try to be set up their own companies. The academic entrepreneur is more popular in China. These are, I think, factors affecting promoting our technology transfer high level, etc. So the future, I think, will extending cycle innovation. Even though we have a good performance, but we still need more stronger forces to promote our innovation. There are three main economic forces driving innovation: market, labor, and knowledge, etc. But in the future, we have a furious market competition, and we still need some more skilled labor, and we have more knowledge to promote our technology transfer activity. So in China, even we have a good performance in science technology performance, but we still lag behind the USA. Maybe in 5-10 years, China will surpass Germany and Japan and UK as the most innovative nation. But we still have a round load compared to US technology power, etc. In the same time, the other country, like India, grew very faster. So this is a conclusion. The turning point in the period from 2020 to 2035 in construction of most innovative country, it is not only facing fierce competition, even the blockades from the first group of innovative countries like USA, Europe, Japan, South Korea. But China also facing a rapid catch-up and direct competition from emerging economies represented by India. So, because we compare to US innovation strategy, we need more world-class basic research and original innovations. So, like other developed countries, we need more our disruptive technologies, not only our major technologies. Second, we should provide a sound environment to attracting best talents from all over the world. And lastly, as issues we should have better commercialization of technology transferred into industry. Though I mentioned that there's good record for technology transfer, but the ratio is still need to be improved. And we should learn from the other countries, not only US, some countries like South Korea and Japan, we can learn because they have a high R&D intensity. Both two countries have a very high R&D intensity than China. So if China should move forward, we should pay still very heavy investment on R&D and innovation. So in order to solve the problem, I'd like to toast a holistic innovation path toward China to get a better innovation and the technology transfer. This paradigm I just proposed as called a holistic innovation framework. The book just finished last year. That means innovation, not just see the technology per se, but we should understand the culture from other countries. So technology transfer. So technology, not just equipment, but also culture transfer. So as this webinar mentions that we should understand the culture and the civilization of each country. We should get to this side down. But also we should need from the philosophy. We should learn from every country's philosophy and the civilization. So not just the technology per se. So this is what we call the holistic innovation thinking. By this one, holistic innovation try to get to the called strategic action for catching up and the national technology progress. Similar idea is from Edquist from Sweden. And also Mazzucato, also a famous economist from Spru University, Sussex. So by this one, China should work 3 areas. First, we still get good basic research and also original innovations more than other countries. China still lack of reliable reverse of science technologies, as well as sufficient high-hand professionals. That's get huge demand for our universities. China is still behind, far behind the G7 countries, especially South Korea, in terms of researchers in R&D per million. That means we also should keep high training for science and engineering degree students. And for R&D, I think still far behind about G7 countries in total, especially in Korea as in terms of R&D intensity. For R&D structure, so compared to the other countries, China spends less money in basic research. This partly issues we lack of original innovation, etc. We spend lots of money for development. So in the future, China should perfect the structure of our R&D spending. So balancing the basic research, applied research, and development. So our innovation strategy will be changed. Firstly, we should do more good at traditional industry. China should get good performance in traditional industry like clothing, machine tools, etc. But also we should pay more attention to the emerging and future industries like AI and the Internet of Things. And the lean innovation and craftsmanship, that means we still pay more attention to the engineering training. But at the same time, we should pay more attention to the original and disrupt innovation. That means our education system should pay more attention to the how to train our students to be more creative thinking about the future. Traditionally, we are good at called adaptive R&D. That's very passive. But in the future, we should spend more money on our basic and applied basic research to get our active and aggressive innovation strategy. And we are now relying on foreign technology transfer. But as China is a big country, we should accelerate the national technology transfer. This called in China now we call it double loop economic development, and the double loop economic development also can use in technology transfer. So technology transfer should balance between national level and the international level. And the paradigm shift for innovation, that means traditionally we are very called imitative innovation. This capability just absorptive capability. This is very low level. So in the future, we will balance indigenous innovation and open and total innovation. So I suggest the Chile, both university and industry should pay more attention to the core competence. But we still just as a dual loop strategy. We also use the open and total innovation and raising our dynamic capability. So in order to make them together, we are, as a mission that we should use the called holistic innovation and holistic capability. This is a suggestion I suggest for our Chinese government and the Chinese companies. I also get this suggestion to our Chile industry and university, etc. So our university carry out the very bigger duty to do the good basic research, pursuing academic excellence. But at the same time, we should enhancing the technology transfer, enhancing the ability of original innovation. So give a prelude of our engineering departments. So our engineering departments, faculty and schools should support our industry development. So this is our task of our university and our discipline design. So discipline, not just for own academic achievement, but also should focus on our national demand, industry demand. So this is also very important. And we also need to build a world-class research institute, like Chinese Academy of Sciences. And also, I do just Chile should pay more attention to the build up of the national academic of sciences and engineering, etc. So we need a more sound system for modern research, especially public research for our private companies, etc. And lastly, we should more have a very good called firm level in innovation, because a company is a key to promote technology transfer. So as President Xi Jinping said in May 28th, we need more technology-led companies. A technology-led company means the company should lead innovation, driven innovation, driven the R&D activity of universities and research institute. This kind of technology-led university, led companies should have a core competence based on innovation ecosystem. So ecosystem, as mentioned before, is very important. So the company should have a very good sound innovation ecosystem to support innovation. Lastly, will be service system of technology transfer. So I suggest both countries should build a professional technology transfer service platform, as well perfect the quality of technology transfer team. Technology transfer is a very complex activity. We need some people with engineering training, as well as raw training in master's degree. Such kind of technology transfer team can support our technology transfer activity. And I do suggest increase their income currently our staff in technology transfer, in Chinese university, get a fixed salary. That's unfair and should increase their income. This lesson we can borrow from Stanford University. Stanford University, the midst of the technology transfer, good performance, lie in their mechanism. The technology transfer unit can get about 15% of revenue from technology transfer. This kind of rule can learn by both Chinese university and Chile universities. So finally, China will, there's fifth suggestion, we should balance science, technology, innovation strategy, as well as intellectual property strategy. Technology transfer is both the work by R&D and IP strategy. We should make IP strategy and innovation strategy work together. So not just focus on paper and patents, but our also products and our patent, trademark, brand, and standard. Patent, beyond patent, trademark, brand, standard, also important for developing countries like China and Chile. We should balance this one. So I think lastly, I mentioned these 5 suggestions. I think we will work together to have accelerating our innovation cycle. So innovation, we should close the loop. If we don't finish technology transfer, the innovation loop is not finished. So lastly, I think it doesn't matter who wins the innovation, because the whole world will benefit from more innovation, no matter it comes from. The COVID-19 pandemic caused a more united world and shared economy to invest in innovation and technology transfer for inclusive and sustainable development. So as a good country, best friends, I think the Chinese university, China and Chile should work together, work closer as a united more than ever to share our experience on innovation and technology transfer experience. So thank you for your listening. I reserve my Q&A for audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Chen. There's certainly a lot to be learned from the number and the information you provided in technology transfer and innovation about China. Due to the time constraints, I noticed there are 2 questions, and one actually related to climate change. Oh, sorry, climate change and clean energy in the technology plan. But I think maybe for our third presenter, Professor Lin Borong from School of Architecture, will talk about energy efficiency and the green buildings, which may cover this question. Yes, and the second question, maybe Professor Chen, you can answer. That's actually, you mentioned the innovation catch-up index. What's a catch-up index, or how to relate the comparison? Could you help to explain?
Okay, I think I mentioned back to our slides. I think this one, yeah, catch up that calculated the patent patents and as well as R&D expenditure is a comprehensive index compared to US. So this kind of index we can compare. You can use the catch-up index. So just like maybe called technology trading, like high-tech technology export value compared to US. So China is still lag behind the US. And also the patents, even China is a big one, the number one in patent application, but the patent in China calculated is more broad. US just calculate invention patent. So compared to invention patent, China not the number one. maybe number 2 or number 3, but US is number 1 for invention patents. So this kind of index, we get comprehensive calculating. We formulated called catch-up index. That's my explanation.
All right, thank you. Although there's time constraints, but I think these are very interesting questions. Should all countries have the same percentage of GDP invested in R&D? What do you think?
Yeah, please say it again.
Should all countries have the same percentage of GDP invested in R&D, research and development?
Yeah, sure. So compared to
You
US,
agree?
yeah, I agree. Yeah, so our country, both the big country and the small country should invest more money on R&D expenditure.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Professor Chen. Thank you for your presentation. I'm sure there'll be more questions and more contacts for later. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jiang, for your good introduction. Okay.
Okay. Now, let's turn to our second presenter. As we all know, one of the challenges in the process of technology transfer is how spin-offs and university-born technologies successfully scale. So in order for us, we need to want to introduce Tsinghua University's technology transfer model. So I'd like to introduce Ms. Wang Yan, the director for the Office of Technology Transfer at Tsinghua University. Professor Wang Yan.
Yeah, I'm
all right.
Here. Hello, everyone. Yeah.
Yes.
It's my pleasure to give the speech here about the technology transfer of Tsinghua University. First of all, I want to thank you for Professor Chen give a wonderful speech here, especially when he said he gave the important advice to increase our income significantly. It's a very good advice. Yeah. Okay, and today, the topic of my speech is how spin-offs and university technology successfully scale. I will introduce 4 parts. The first part is glance of technology transfer in Tsinghua University. Yeah, perhaps everyone know Tsinghua very well. Tsinghua is the best university in China and also one of the world's most famous universities. Qinghai University has more than 3,000 faculty members and more than 47,000 students. Technology transfer is highly regarded in Qinghai University because it is an important embodiment of the university's responsibility to service society. Qinghai University wants to serve the national strategy to promote economic development, to promote social welfare, and to serve technology transfer to serve the university's development. How we realize we depend on the ecosystem. You know, there are a variety of technology transfer models. In Tsinghua University, 4 departments work together, and the affairs office promotes scientific research cooperation between university and enterprise. Office of University and Region Cooperation is responsible for promoting strategic cooperation between universities and local governments and enterprises in China, and also responsible for coordinating the development of 16 research institution development. And you can see that these 16 research institutes are located in Beijing, Tianjin, Yangtze River Delta, Pearl River Delta, and other social economic developed areas. Office of Technology Transfer is responsible for university IP management and technology transfer. You know, some technologies are transferred through equity investment. These shares are held by Tsinghua Holdings on behalf of the university. Tsinghua Holding is located in the beautiful Tsinghua University Science and Technology Park. In the most years, Tsinghua University has applied many patents. By 2020, Tsinghua University has more than 17,000 valid patents in China. 35% of the patents were filed jointly by Tsinghua University and the industry. In 2020, Tsinghua University's US old patents rank 4th in the universities in the world. About technology transfer, in the past 6 years, more than 2,800 patent technology were transferred through licensing and investment. The contract amount to $150 million, and the actual amount received amounted to $150 million, including 8% of technology transfer revenue comes from life and health field, and 21% from information field, and the other 71% from the physical field. It is foreseeable that with the development of technology, the proportion of life and health and information will be further increased in the future. And in the past 8 years, we have startups, about 200 startups have set up in China. About most 50% was set up in Beijing. And how the second part is how to implement technology transfer for innovation in university. Generally, there are 3 distinct characteristics of the technology by universities. First, the technology is early stage, not closely integrated with the application scheme. The follow-up needs to invest more resources for product development. Second, most technology licensees are medium-sized and small businesses. According to autumn statistics, about 70% of technology at US universities over the past years has shifted to medium-sized and small business. Third, most medium-sized and small enterprises also established long-term research partnerships with universities to maintain their innovation ability and technological advantages as quickly as possible. Studies have also shown that economically, medium and small-sized enterprises are more efficient at achieving efficiency through open innovation than independent innovation. So we hope to bring together resources from local governments, venture capital, and industry resources to help early stage technology across that valley achieve proof of concept and develop prototypes. Let me introduce some common technology transfer model of Tsinghua University. The first model is the joint research cooperation between universities and enterprises. And now it is still the most important model in Tsinghua University. Every year, Tsinghua adds more than 2,000 new research projects each year. At present, Tsinghua University and enterprises have jointly established 137 joint research institutes. Every year, they have stable research funds, research on the industry key technology needs. The general cooperation cycle is always 3 and 5 years. Patents that Tsinghua University and enterprises jointly applied about for 35%. It's just because of the joint research projects. The second model is generally licensing industry almost common technology authorized a number of enterprises in different industries to use. This case is a dynamic human 3D reconstruction technology based on DAS camera, led by Liu Yebing, professor from the Department of Automation at Qinghai University, which is currently used in about 10 companies in different industries. So it is a very popular technology in our university. And the third model is the exclusive licensing model, the new kind of various vaccine projects jointly completed by Qinghai University and the other medical university is pinned for by milestone payment using an exclusive licensee conversion method. Technology licensors share risks and benefits with the licensee. And the fourth one model is to set up a startup by the scientists. This was a successful story at Tsinghua University many years ago. Tsinghua Holdings set up a business partly run by scientists, but built a long but without a stock equity. The enterprise and the university has built a long-term research cooperation, established a joint research institutes. Each year, the enterprise pays the research funds. Scientists and engineers from the company formed a cooperative research team, achieved fruitful results. University also share the certain benefits from the operating income and profits of the company. This closed information model for both sides is win-win. Enterprises have now become industry leaders, and the development of disciplines in our university has also been supported in the past years. And the fifth model is a model created by the professors and students, which is the most popular at the present. For example, Ouyang Minggao, a professor of Qinghai University's School of Vehicle Engineering, has great passion for innovation. Every week, more than 100 professors and students have gathered together to talk about the technology innovation and to set up the companies. So they had created several startups in the field of new energy vehicles. Among them, the development of Yihuazhong company had been listed in the Science and Technology Board. University technology is licensed or invested. Become of the common technical background, good trust relationship, success rate is generally very high. And the sixth model is not to create between professors and students, but to co-found companies by scientists in cooperation with senior experts from the same industry. There may be a tentative process in the early stage of cooperation, but because of the complementary of resources and ability, if values and objectives are aligned, they can generally go hand in hand. It's a very successful story. And the last one is a joint venture between university and the industry leaders to transform Tsinghua University's technology. In the future, I think it will be a very important model in Tsinghua University's technology models. So I think we can talk about the third part one, evaluation of a successful technology transfer. In my opinion, I think I want to from three parts of view in 3 ways. The first one is from the view of university, how to evaluate if it is successful of technology transfer. From the perspective of university, the factors of successful transfer of evaluation technology are embodied in 3 aspects. First, the university's technology has moved from lab to the market, has enhanced the influence, the impact of the university in society. Second, this process of innovation deepens the scientists' understanding of the whole process of innovation and enhance professors' innovation ability and academic impact. Third, university had also received reasonable returns from the success of technology transfer, feeding back into the university's innovation system. Now, as though from the view of startups enterprise, because of the cooperation between the 2 sides, the technology innovation ability of enterprise continue to improve. The quality of products is also very guaranteed, and good economic benefits is achieved. Businesses are also growing and reaping financial rewards from the technology. So for the startups or the enterprise, it can get much more from the cooperation. The last one is from the view of economic body, from the perspective of society. University and enterprise work together to solve the real pain point problem. It has played an important role in promoting the perspective of the country, promoting the social and economic development, and enhancing the happy life of mankind. So I think the ultimate success also depends on the efforts of in the process. Generally speaking, if the 2 partners are consistent in their strategy, objectively, culturally compatible, complementary in resources and ability, and able to jointly build a resource sharing mechanism and the personal cooperation mechanism, smooth information feedback mechanism, the possibility of ultimate success of this technology transfer will be very high. For example, the above mentioned the case of cooperation between Tsinghua University and Tongfang Weishi is a typical case. Yeah, and the challenge in the future in technology transfer in Qinghai in the university, I think first the balance of the university's multiple missions and the limited time of professors, they cannot invest too much energy in the technology transfer. According to the requirements of the university, they should need to come down more focused on talent cultivation and scientific research. But the essential stage of technology transfer to the enterprise will require guidance from scientists. So it's a challenge. And the other side is how to improve the quality of IP of the university, not only in Qinghai University, but also many universities in China is an important work in the future. And the third one is because the traditional form of scientific research organization in universities is composed of professors and students. The research field is relatively narrow, so the technology will also appear narrow and scattered. In order to better meet the needs of society, multiple multidisciplinary technology should be integrated. So in the future, how to cooperate with industry, how to build more open cooperation with the ecosystem to improve the innovation efficiency is very, very important. So in a word, the university in China have met the the best time of technology transfer in China. The country put innovation in the central position of the development of the country. So it's a very, very good time. We should to strive for to promote more technology to the world, to give the to more quickly and to more successfully to promote the technology transfer, and it's personally important to do more contribution to the country, the people, and the world. So that's what I'm reporting. Thank you for your listening. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Wang. Thank you for providing a comprehensive technology transfer model about Tsinghua University. We have a brief moment for questions from the audience. There's one question. What is the most common industry in patents? For example, computer science, electrical products, or some other areas? Yeah, I remember you have a pie chart. You may.
Perhaps it is very important in computer science and related fields, and in the healthcare it is also important. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, remember you have a pie chart showing the importance industry more like a healthcare, biology, and also the computer science, IT. That's a important industry area in patents.
Yes.
All right. Any other questions? Okay. I think that's all. Thank you, Professor Wang. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks. So our next presenter will offer a deep dive into technology transfer case studies in the field of green buildings. To guide us through this technology showcase, I'd like to invite Mr. Lin Borong, Professor and Associate Dean for the School of Architecture at Tsinghua University. Professor Lin,
okay,
please.
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Dr. Yi. Hello, everybody. Good morning and evening. I'm Borong Lin from School of Architecture, Tsinghua University. Today is my pleasure to share the research and application experiences by our school in the field of green building innovation. As you know, China has promised the carbon emission will be zero at the end of 2060. And at the other hand, the Chinese people still to improve the indoor and outdoor environment quality. So green development is the key. And today, I will show you what we did in this field to improve the technology from the design, construction, and operation field. Today, my outline including the introduction about the Tsinghua University and our school. And secondly, I will give you a very brief introduction about the features of Chinese building industry. And then I will show you the green building effort by Tsinghua University. That is how to establish the solid foundation and reputation from the building to the new technology into the design and operation practices, and finally to cooperate with the other companies in the industry. And also, at the last time, I will introduce the technology development and transfer experiences. That means how about the technical challenge in the building sector of China, and how we can get the financial support in how to improve or enlarge the scale of our technology innovation in the future. Just before Professor Wang Ye gave a very detailed introduction about Tsinghua University, I think this picture you can have a quick review of that. What we want to mention before is compared with the top university in the world, Tsinghua University also have many innovative patents in the past 20 years, and also with the global ranking from the US News QS Tsinghua University, also the top 1 university in the Asia in China. And also for our School of Architecture, which was built in 1946, and the QS ranking is always overall 9th and 11th in the past 5 years. And also our international master program of architecture is the top 5 in the world. Until now, there are four departments in our school. First is Department of Architecture. The second is Department of Urban Planning. And the third one is Department of Building Science. And the last one is Department of Landscape. For our department, the Department of Building Science, we mainly focus on the green technology research and development, focus on energy efficiency as well as environment protection. It was established by 1952, and we returned to the School of Architecture in 2000. For our school, there are about 118 faculties, including 46 professors and 4 academicians for China Engineering and China Science Academy. And there are more than 30 international famous scholars. There is one state, national level S&T Institute, is the Institute for China Sustainable Urbanization. And also there are 5 ministerial levels institute, including the Key Laboratory of Eco-City and Green Building, Ministry of Education, and also the Tsinghua Urban Institute by Ministry of Construction, and also the Engineering Center for Building Energy Efficiency also belong to the Ministry of Education. And also there is a Key Laboratory of Indoor Air Quality Evaluation and Control supported by the Beijing government. Okay, secondly, I will introduce the features of China building sector in the past 30 years. You know, there is a picture of Shanghai Pudong in the 1970s. And now, just 10 years ago, the Shanghai Pudong became very busy, very famous international cities. There are many new buildings built in the past 30 or 40 years. There are many high-rise buildings. So, you know, China's urbanization is 30% by 2000, and now is more than 57%. And also the building industry size annual increase about 20%. It was a very important pillar for the Chinese economy. And for the Chinese building energy consumption, there is a review I want to show you before. The building industry can be very complicated in China due to the huge population and living in 5 different climate zones, and also due to the different building types and fairly different income levels. We generally divided the China building energy consumption into these sectors, including the large-scale commercial buildings, the normal commercial buildings, and the space heating at northern China, and also the residential heating at the Yangtze River is the hot summer and cold winter region, and also the residential buildings, but didn't include in the district heating in the North China, and also for the usual energy consumption for the usual buildings. So you see, for the usual buildings, it counts for 38%. Sorry, yeah, this is the square is the floor areas breakdown, and also for the residential buildings is 9.6 billion square meters, accounts for 50%, and also for the residential buildings, yeah, is 1%. Okay, and so on. Yeah, I think you can have a quick look about this. And here you can see there are 5 climate zones in China, including the severe cold. This area is the north area in the western of China, and also the cold zone and the hot summer and cold winter, in the sort of hot summer and warmer winter. Yeah, and also the last is the temperate zone, this area. So we need to give a very specific energy efficiency innovation for the buildings around China. And also the green buildings aims to save the energy, water, materials, land, and obtain a good indoor environment quality is the most important development in the last 15 years in China. Most green buildings certifications in China in the past 10 years, generally the total floor area of green buildings in China is about 1.5 billion in the past 5 years. Is the biggest green building market in the world. And at the same time, if we consider the energy consumption of the buildings in China, we will get this conclusion that China consumes much less energy than the developed countries in buildings. You see here is the building energy consumption level for United States. Okay, and here the green one is Japan. Yeah, okay. And here you can find the other developed countries. But if we consider the China, yeah, it's here, yeah, the urban of China. So we can see, if we consider the total energy consumption, China is one of the biggest one in the world. But if we consider the building energy intensity compared with other developed countries, it's still very low. But consider the total amount of the floor area of buildings in China, we should control the energy consumption intensity in the future. So this is the challenge. So the innovation effort of green building by Tsinghua University, including 5 aspects. First is standards and white books, reports for the country. So each Qinghai University will engage the national green building standard, health building codes, and contribute a lot for the energy efficiency as well as the healthy indoor environment quality. And also we give the green technology assessment reports to the government and the market. In each year, we issue the China building energy consumption reports to the society. Secondly, is the design and evaluation for the green buildings. We carry out a lot of design practices each year, and also we promote energy audit approach for the large-scale commercial buildings in China. And also we carry out some special projects, including the leisure sustainable development I will introduce later. And the third one is the innovative technology development, including how to improve the energy efficiency by the existing buildings. We develop a lot of new machines, new technologies, and also we consider the different climate types and consider the climate change as well as the carbon emission reduction promise. Recently, we develop a new technology to instead of coal to the clean technologies. And also we develop a lot of AI technologies to save the operation energy for the commercial buildings. And the last one is the global cooperation. Tsinghua University has issued many academic impacts by some international publications. And also we have a close cooperation with the famous institute in the world. And also we invite a lot of famous scholars to Tsinghua University to work half or 1 year. So firstly is the standards, also the white papers. Here I give you the list about the standard Tsinghua University involved, including the National Assessment Standard for Green Buildings. There are 3 versions from 2006, 2014, and 2019. And also for the Green Olympic Building Assessment Systems, we added this system for the Summer Green Olympic Games as well as the Winter Olympic Games. And also we just issued the National Evaluation Standard for health building. And for the white papers, there are many important reports to the society, including the China Annual Report on the Building Energy Efficiency from 2000 to this year. There are about 15 publications each year. And also, we carry out some new technology assessment for green building design, operation, and diagnosis. For global corporations, there are many famous visiting professors monthly or yearly, including Professor Sandel and Professor Didier, Professor Lita Jiao, and so on. We carry out a lot of global joint publications and workshops, such as the Global Building Energy Data Comparison supported by the ISO, by the IEA. We co-issued the ISO standards, and also we issued the data-based study work together. And also, we work with the IEA to issue the white papers for building energy use in China, and also the district energy systems in China, and the future of cooling in China. I think that this will be interesting for developing countries. And also, there is IEA Tsinghua Annual Joint Workshop held at Tsinghua University since 2015. And also, we get many global or international academic services and good support by the international academic friends. There are many chief and deputy chief editors, such as indoor air, building simulation, building environment, energy and buildings, indoor and built environment, and so on. Many famous international journals. And there are many most cited Chinese researchers in the world in our department. There are 7 of total 33 faculty members of is the most cited scholars selected by the Elsevier in the architecture category, as well as the civil engineering category. For design and evaluation practice, there are many famous and important projects supported by Tsinghua University, including the Azure Infrastructure Investment Bank. It just finished 2 years ago. It's a new type of green buildings for the bank office buildings in the future. And also the new airport of Beijing is a new layout of the airport buildings, for the terminal buildings. And also this building can get very good indoor environment by the natural ventilation as well as the day lightings. And also the distance from the entrance to the air flight is very short, just from the center to the terminal. It's very convenient. And also there is the National Plant Museum, and this is the Shenzhen Theater. And this building is the tallest skyscraper in Beijing. It's the China Zoom. The height is 528 meters. For these buildings, we have them to get the topmost performance certification by Green Building System, and also the indoor environment in the occupant response were improved by the design optimization. And also for the existing buildings, we promote energy audit action. In 2016 to 2019, we audit for more than 50 government office buildings nationwide, and requested by the government office administration by the State Council. And all the buildings could get an energy reduction in some 30% energy savings with 0 or little retrofit cost, because we managed to optimize the performance of the HVAC system. It's very easy to improve their performance, to improve the COP. And also we carry out the energy data of 150 buildings on UPenn campus, United States. We finished the A building investigations, and we saved 40% energy by the little retrofit cost measures, such as to change the sensors of FDD to optimize the control logic. And also we finished energy study for 5 large-scale commercial buildings in Hong Kong, managed by the Severe Properties. So there are many interesting stories about the operation savings for energy and for carbon reduction. So all of these practices help us to gain first-hand practical experiences and then to develop guidance and best practices in training our students in identified technical improvement opportunities. So I think it's a very interesting courses. Maybe in the future we can work together to explore this to the worldwide. And another very interesting project is we also carry some sustainable design and evaluation works for leisure ventilation, because you know the the usual conditions in China are not so good, considering different economy level in the climate type. Tsinghua University has promoted a usual virtualization workstation plan, which was applied at 15 provinces in China. And for the northern regional area, we have them to improve the thermal insulation performance of the usual house in the winter, and installed solar collectors in the roof, and to improve the indoor thermal environment in the winter. And also, we have them to collect the waste heat from the plant and from the exhaust stock, and then we can get a very good building shape as well as the indoor thermal environment. And for the other climate zones, we designed the new space with a very good show, and then all the farmers can use this space to develop local economies and to improve the local environment. So this work has been reported by the CCTV many times in the past 3 years. And for the technical development, there are some existing efforts. Firstly, we mainly focus on the smart technologies, including the simulation tools, the control logics. We have developed such as Mozart's simulation tools for green architecture design. And also, we developed a lot of distributed control system and added the code. And also, we developed DEST, is the one of the 3 famous international simulation software in the world. And also, we carry out the district heating in on-land detection and control technology. They got a lot of national S&T award in the past 20 years. And secondly is the energy efficiency. We developed the liquid desiccant air handling technology with the heat recovery, which got the 2007 National S&T Innovation Award. And also we developed a central heating-based absorption heat exchanger, got the 2013 National Award. And for environmental friendly, there are also some interesting innovations such as the green refrigerant and how to reduce the indoor pollution, including PM 2.5, and formula health monitor and clean and so on. Especially, we carry out a lot of regional support, including the indirect evaporative chillers for the west dry area. This area, the humidity is very low, so we can use the specific climate condition to get a very high energy efficiency, which obtained the 2009 National Award. And also, we developed the float storage at Case, Jovin, Shanxi province. And also, there are some other Chinese cabbage storage in Beijing area. So, consider the innovative technology study application in corporations. We get many social and commercial impacts. Following the innovative technology developed by our school, there are many famous companies established in the past 20 years, including Tsinghua Tongfang is the listed company. The scale is about 15 billion market value per year. And also for the Sinopharm is the liquid desiccant air handling company. The annual scale is about $20 million. And also the other famous companies, including the waste heat for district heating, the Xinjiang Green for the evaporation cooling, and also the Pesca company are mainly focused on the operation data management for energy efficiency and operation field of operation phase. The annual scale is about $5 million, and so on. So I think this will be very interesting for us. And also considering the technical solution, I want to introduce some specific cases. First is we carry out the specific energy saving technology solution for the rural area. We give the we design the insulation systems for the rural area, including add the thermal insulation layers and avoid the leakage of the window in the door. And also we design the specific solar energy system integrated with the building roof. And then we carry out some high efficient heating equipment, including the heating pump and the can system, and such as the energy saving stove. For these two technology, the passive technology plus the active technology, we can save 40% and 20% energy respectively. And finally, we will introduce the renewable energy replacement plan. That means we will develop biomass technologies, and we develop a new effective equipment. And here we can reduce 30% of CO2 reduction. And finally, we can get a zero carbon emission village for the local government. So with these technology innovations, more than 1 billion small coal boilers removed, and about 300 million ton coal reduced. Here are some digital numbers. I don't want to repeat. You can have a look of them. We save a lot of energy, environment protection indexes. In the just with a result, the outdoor air pollution in China has changed to a very good conditions in currently. We can see for the rural area, village, the building has a very beautiful show, and also the indoor environment quality improved. This study also get a good response for policy making in promotion, because the advantage of including the low cost, the initial cost is 10,000 RMB. In the high efficient, the annual cost less than 1,000 RMB. It was easy for maintenance, and also for use is one key, one plan, very easy for future promotion. Another case is the new development, is the new heat pumps developed for the Mongolia buildings. This technology was cooperated with GREE, the biggest air conditioning companies in China. We developed a clean heating product, the heating instead of the cold, extreme cold winter without any pollution for the Ulaanbaatar and Mongolia. So you see, in the future, there are many terrible air pollutions in Ulaanbaatar. And now we produce the new machines. It will be worked at under 20 or 30 degrees C outdoor environment and have a very good performance. So we can get a very benefit for the environment protection. And there are many potential development in the future. What we want to show you, the new trends is firstly consider the climate change. We promote the PV plus energy storage plus DC plus flexible system. It will be very powerful in the future because you know the PV price. The PV price at 2020 is almost 15% of 2001. That means the PV panels will have a greater development in the future. So if we use the PV, we use the electricity by the PV panels plus the local energy storage. That means the building will become energy production, not only for the consumers. So in the future, it will be very efficient for the carbon emission reduction in the future. Another technology is the AI or IoT project, because in the future, there will be many data for the indoor environment technology, environment quality, including the temperature, humidity, PM 2.5 illuminance, and also the behavior of the occupants. So in the future, if we get these parameters, we can use them to optimize the indoor environment quality, as well as to reduce the energy consumption, the emission, the carbon emission. And finally, we can improve the response of the occupant. Here is some cases we show you. We cooperated with United States and UK and India. We have carried out the real-time data collection and carry out some data comparison to optimize the operation strategies in the future. And also there are some new building systems, patents, innovation due to the time limited. Maybe I can introduce this in the future. So that's all my introduced for you. Yeah, thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Lin, for providing a comprehensive picture about Tsinghua efforts on green building code establishment, technology development, and applications. Here are two questions from the audience. The first one is China is one of the biggest, if not the biggest consumer of cement in the world. Cement is very carbon extensive. How does China plan to solve this problem?
Okay, yeah, thank you. It's a very important question because you know in China the cement is a biggest market for Chinese government. The most important issue to control the CO2 reduction emission by the cement or by the other building materials sector is use the green building standards to control the high carbon emission materials applications in the buildings, such as if you want to use too many cements in one building, you need to pass the green buildings track by the local government. It's it was a very important step from the beginning. If you can now get the permission by the local government, if you can now get the green building certification, that you can now carry out the construction of the building. So the first is the green building standard. Secondly, is supported by the green architects, because in China from 2015, all the Chinese architects agreed to design the building from the beginning. So from the schematic phase, the architects will control the high carbon emission materials used. And the third is the price control by the market. The Chinese government issued the carbon price, especially for the high carbon emission materials used in some district in China, but it's not a nation, the world. I believe in the future it will be the trend. So there are many potentials in the future. So thank you for this question. Yeah.
Thank you. And the second question, do you have any technology or research solution for wood structure buildings, especially with 6 floors or above?
Okay, yeah, thank you for this question. For Tsinghua, in fact, we didn't only focus for wooden buildings. We also focus on the buildings made of bamboo. But you know, for these two kind of buildings, the most challenging phase is it can now be used to build high-rise buildings. So recently, supported by the Ministry of Construction and Technology, Tsinghua worked together with other famous institutes in China. In next 5 years, we will build the building made by wood or by the bamboo, more than 100 meters. And also the initial cost will control a 50% increasement. So this is the SMT planned by the Chinese government, and Tsinghua will play an important role inside. Thank you.
Interesting. Okay. Now we have a new question. How BIM technology will help to make architecture more sustainable? How does China incorporate it in their industry?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, BIM is a very important tool for Chinese green building development. In fact, the green building standards issued by 2014, we encouraged all the buildings use BIM to finish the architectural design as well as for energy efficient operation. So in some big cities, such as Beijing and Shanghai and the other developer province, BIM is mandatory tools for large-scale buildings with the floor area more than 10,000 square meters. So this is very popular in China. I think in China, next step is SIM, is the city information modeling. It's not only BIM, because we not only consider single building, we want to consider the building cluster, in the future is the district, and later will be a city. We will use the information tools in the future to improve the efficiency of the city, not only for single building. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Professor Lin. Thank you for your answers. Okay, I think we'll have to stop here.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have to stop here due to time constraints. With this final presentation, we conclude the day one of the Tsinghua-UC Technology Meetup. We'll continue the discussion surrounding technology transfer tomorrow as we cover opportunities for tech adoption in Chile. The famous winery company, Qinghai Toro, will offer outlook on tech-based innovation opportunities in Chile. And Dr. Alexis Kalagis, director of the Millennium Institute on Immunology and Immunotherapy, will let us in on the tech transfer experience of the Sinovac vaccine in Chile. We will also have a tech showcase with technology from the health tech sector. So do not miss it and see you tomorrow. To the people in China following us, have a good night. And to our audience in Chile and Latin America, have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.